Welcome to this rating run on chess.com with rapid games of 15 minutes with a 10-second increment added. This is the 8th part in this series, and we've gotten this rating up to 1156, and we're trying to continue the upward trend. So join me to see how this next game goes. Okay, we are waiting for an opponent, and we have an opponent. All right, I have the black pieces, and I'm waiting for their move. And they start out unusually with a G3 move. Interesting. All right, I will just push my D pawn, and then C6 to help block that bishop's path. Knight move. And we will fortify the center, kind of do a reverse collie. Let me see, where do I want this F pawn? Or sorry, F bishop, this F8 bishop. Normally I would just move it here, but should I put the bishop here to help fight this bishop? That could be a possible move to make. I think I would do that. I think I will put the bishop on this line to help fight that bishop there. Okay, so he is threatening a possible push there. I could try and stall that out with this. Okay, All right, I will capture there. And now what? Do I try and chase that knight away? I will attack that knight and his bishop at the same time. See what he does. So he should probably just capture, but I'm attacking his knight and his bishop up here. So we'll see what he does. And he played correctly, I believe. He captured. I capture. And now, will he exchange his knight, or will he protect it with a pawn push? And so the problem I'm facing is that I have all my pawns on the same color as this bishop. So I need to try and possibly push my pawns forward. Okay. Interesting. Alright, I will move this pawn to give my bishop here some breathing room. And I could move my rooks down to this h-file and try to pile up onto this pawn here. Okay, what did that do? Anything? He could threaten to push forward. I could move my queen up here. Let's see. Alright, or do I put this knight in a better position? But it is guarding this, so I need to keep that guarded. Alright. Well, Alright. Little turning point here. What to do? Okay. I think I will place the rook on this open file here. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Well, he's attacking this pawn. I could push forward, chasing his knight. If his knight comes in, and I exchange here. I think we would just develop a piece here. Just continue to develop. We'll do that. That way if he captures, I can capture with the knight. If he captures with his knight, okay, now I could potentially push forward, chasing that knight. So I will go ahead and do that, gaining space. And generally when your pawns are pointing like they are in this direction, they're pointing up to the king side, I have more space in this area, and that's where you want to funnel your pieces in behind the pawns in the direction they point. So he has more space on this queen side. So now I think I will move this knight. Well, he could try and jump in there. So I have to figure out where to put this knight. He could try and swing in here and then place his knight there. But if he's there, I could chase him away with a pawn move. So I should probably move this knight. But I'm trying to decide if I want to move this pawn forward. I'll probably leave this pawn here because this open file, if I push this pawn forward, this one will be weakened. And so I think I will press forward with this knight attacking here with the rook and the knight combined. And now I can just capture with this rook. And so now it is becoming dangerous in this position. Okay, I think my position is better here. His king is pretty open, but I do need to get out my other bishop here, which is not doing anything, and I need to move this knight forward. But what to do here? I could capture. If he recaptures with a knight, I capture. His bishop comes into the position a little bit. Well, I'm thinking I should just capture with the pawn and see what he does. Okay, I think I will do that. Or do I just develop this knight up first? He could chase it away. Or do I check? I could just try to check here. Interesting. Alright, I think I will do this because now my queen can also check its king there. And so now he's really in trouble. So check to his king. And now his knight over here on c3 can also be captured. Okay, now we can check him further and pick off this rook. Oh, he's in trouble now. We will check him. Probably should have took a little bit of time to see if there was a better move. Whenever you see a good move, it's always good to take some time and see if you can find a better one. But now his king is being attacked. His rook is being attacked. His king has to move. And wherever his king moves, I will be able to check him. So he's really in trouble here. If he moves his king here, it's a mate with the queen. Oh, he disconnected and will auto-resign. I think I don't know. I don't know if he had internet problems or if he got mad and quit. But he's under attack here. His only options are here, and that leads to a mate with the queen. If he goes here, I can capture his rook and fork his king and queen. And if he goes here, we have a queen check. And then he'll have to move here, and we could have a discovered attack with the rook. Yeah, he's just in a lot of trouble, so I think maybe he quit, and it just said it will auto-resign. Disconnected will auto-resign in 30 seconds. So I don't know, maybe he got angry and just quit without resigning. Okay, so we're waiting here. In this position, I used my extra space. My pawns were pointing up in this direction towards the king side, and then I funneled my pieces in that direction where I had extra space to maneuver my pieces, and the attack worked out here. Okay, so we have a win there, and let's do a game review. Shows some mistakes here. Okay, so game review is loading up. I had an 81.8% accuracy to his 62.8, and so now, oh, I see, he had 4 mistakes and I had 1. Excuse me. So, and I had a miss. All right, let's get on with this review. This was an interesting opening that he used, where he brought out both of his bishops to crisscross on these diagonals. Okay, so here h takes g5 is a great move. I trade off equal material. There was only one move that worked, and you played it. Okay, so yeah, I think his problem, or one area that gave him a problem, was pushing this pawn forward. It kind of just opened up his king, and it opened this h file up for me. So be cautious of opening up lines towards your king. All right, here it's saying that was a mistake. I'm threatening to attack a trapped rook. Well, let's see what moves they recommend here. Oh, okay. Well, that is interesting. Let me take another look at that. Bishop takes g7. So it recommended instead instead of... All right, let's see what the best moves were. So it recommended just pushing forward there. Interesting. Taking control of the center. Okay, so it's just playing out possible moves that could have occurred. All right, well, we didn't take that path, so let's see what did happen here. Okay, e4 is a great move. So I pushed forward, chasing this knight and gaining time and gaining space in the center. And so Let's see, here it says he played a 900 rating, and I played 1400. And then, all right, we continued on. I win a free pawn. Some exchanges here. And knight h3 check is best. So, and then I think this is where, yes, where he quit. It says, I really outplayed my opponent in that one. The opening was balanced. You pounced on your opportunities in the middle game. So, our opening accuracy, his was 81.4 and mine was 84.4. And then in the middle game, he only had a 42.3% accuracy, and I had 78.9. And of course, we didn't make it to the middle game. All right, let's jump into one more game and see how that goes. So let me exit out of this, and we will start another one. All right, here we go. We have an opponent, and they have white, so we're waiting for their move. And another one of these openings where they play that. Okay. Well, we will just push the D pawn, and then play this. We'll try and play a similar setup to the last game. All right. Okay, so I will probably castle here on the king side. He pushes forward, gaining space on the queen side, so I'm going to go ahead and castle. And I'll put my rook here to prepare to fight for the center. Okay, so in this position, he has 3 defenders. I only have these, so I will put my queen here to help fight for this e5 square. So if I push forward, he captures, I capture, he captures. Okay, and why would he move there? I push this pawn to move my knight here. That way this bishop can help fight for that square. Now we can push forward here on e5. All right, so he probably should develop. Okay, he's trying to push forward there. So I'm going to go ahead and guard against him pushing on this queen side. And he's just going to continue. Okay, so I'm going to fight for the center. If somebody is attacking on the side of the board and you're able to counterattack in the center, that's usually a decent plan. Okay, so he moves there. I'm going to capture, and we'll see what he does next. Okay, he captures. I capture. He will probably, yes, he exchanges off now. Do I use the queen? Or whatever I use. Yes, I think I'll use the queen. And then I can keep my queen covering this vulnerable diagonal. All right, and now let us see what we should try to do here. All right. Once again, I find my bishop on the same color squares that my pawns are on, or my bishop is on the light squares and so are my pawns. So this bishop is kind of a bad bishop. And so what to do here? Well, I guess I'll move the bishop, and now my rooks are connected where they can help each other. I need to figure out what to do with my queen. And now this knight also must be repositioned. Okay, so here I believe he made a mistake, because now if he captures, oh no, my mistake. We can trade off here. Let's see. All right, do I trade off this queen, giving him control of this file, the A file here? What to do? I think I will do that, and then I will capture. Actually, I need to go. Need to go there, threatening to capture that. And of course he pushes forward, keeping me blocked in. So now I must remaneuver this bishop, which is going to be a problem. Alright, let's jump the knight into the game here. Jump the knight into the game. Alright. And now, what to play here? Okay. Let us see what we can try to do in this position. Do I move my knight forward into his position? That is a possibility. But this is unprotected. How do I want to protect that? All right. No, that's premature. Because if I get pulled up here and he attacks this, that could cause problems. So this bishop must be repositioned into a better spot. All right, first I'll just move my king up and see what he does. And of course he attacks there. So usually it's not good to play defense with your rook. All right, all right. We'll just protect. And I guess he missed that the knight was protecting that. So now he's losing. He just maybe moved too fast and made a mistake there. So he must have realized what he did wrong. And he resigns. Okay. Alright, we won that one through a tactical miscalculation by the opponent. Alright, let's do a game review. Okay, so I had 92.1% accuracy. I guess the game didn't go on long enough for me to make more mistakes and for my accuracy percentage to go down. Okay, so they had 84.2. It says giveaway, nice comeback win. Okay, so start the review. Yeah, if we look at this analysis up here, it looks like white was ahead till he made those series of mistakes. All right. So, once again, an interesting opening where he brings his bishop out here to attack this diagonal towards the king side. And so here, h6 is an inaccuracy. This move doesn't hurt you much, but it doesn't help either. So best would have been the knight jumping up into this position. Yes, I see how that would be a good move because it attacks this unprotected. Well, I guess, excuse me, the bishop is protected by the knight, but it puts this knight in a good outpost up here. And then I could push this pawn forward, giving me more space. And if the knight is not chased away, or if it's attacked, I could funnel another knight in. But he still could chase it away eventually with a pawn push here. Okay. So We had a lot of exchanges in the middle, exchanges here. And then this move is an inaccuracy. I overlooked an opportunity to recapture a piece from a previous move. You allowed the opponent to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. So best would be to capture here. Interesting. To capture. And then if the bishop recaptured, my pawns are broken here. But he just has this weak pawn here. Interesting. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Yeah, this probably would have been better because I ended up letting him get this cramping position here on the queen side. But I don't know, I got lucky. He just made a mistake. All right. So I achieved an 1850 rating in this game, and he had a 1550 rating. So looks like opening accuracy, he had 92.8. I had 92.8 as well. And then middle game, 87.2 to 90.9. All right. Okay, great job completing this game review. All right, I guess we could try one more game, guys. Hopefully this doesn't go too long, and I'll see if I can break into the 1200 rating. So let's get out of this, and we'll try one more game here. New game. All right, so I have white. I'm facing a 1243 in this position. Triple whammy 007. All right. We'll play a safer game with d4. Because as I get higher in the ratings here, the games are slowly going to become more difficult and the opponents will make less mistakes. But generally, until you reach a 2000 rating, there will probably be many tactical errors made because people below 2000, they're still strong players, but all of us under 2000 will make tactical errors. All right, so he's moved d5. I'm just going to move knight to f3, helping to control the center. Okay, so he's attacking this pawn, but it's protected. I will probably move this to prevent his knight from coming down into my position. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. See what he does with that move. And so he probably thought I was going to play a London opening by moving bishop to f4. And so maybe that's why he's thinking a little bit now. So immediately he attacks in the center. So I think I may just attack. Well, I could attack with the pawn, which I may well do. All right, I think I will do that. Well, if I attack with the knight, then I'm attacking his knight, so maybe that is a little better. I think I will do that. I will just jump this knight up into the position. And now we'll see what he does here. So he captures. I'm going to recapture. So now, for the moment, I'm a pawn ahead. He may attack it with his queen, but then that will... Okay, so he does that. I am going to bring my bishop out first to protect that pawn. Okay, so here I'm going to bring my bishop out because I want to push up here. Maybe I'll push this pawn immediately because he's threatening to push forward here. If he pushes and I capture, he could capture. So I'm going to strengthen. I have to block my bishop in, but I'm going to keep this pawn from being able to push forward and cause any issues. Okay, so he does that. And now I'm going to move my bishop. Now I'm prepared to castle. And I'm prepared to castle. I could bring this knight up here. Okay, so he's threatening to go here, possibly jump down into that square. Will that cause me any problems? The knight may attempt to jump into this position. So, do I fortify it by going here with my queen? That is a possibility. Okay. So what was his threat by moving that knight off to the side there? He is threatening to place a piece here. If the knight moves here, I'm not too worried about that. Do I go ahead and castle? I think I will just go ahead and castle. See what he does next. Okay. Now I must develop my knight. So, what is best? Do I move this to prevent his pieces from jumping down here to g4? Possibly. Alright, I think I'll do that to keep his pieces from coming down here. Okay, so he is attacking there. I guess I will just capture. So his queen comes into the position. I must bring my knight up to help. So bring the knight into the position to help defend. Okay, so here I'm ahead of pawn. I could give up the bishop pair and attack his knight. That is a possibility. He is threatening a sacrifice here with the bishop and then forking, possibly. Alright. Well, his knight can't really go anywhere. If it goes here, if I bring a knight in here, I think I'll be okay. Do I capture, or sorry, do I attack his bishop with my knight? That is a possibility. Alright, or do I trade pieces? So this is an important point in the game. I'm ahead of pawn. Do I trade down, give up my bishop pair by capturing his knight? Or do I maneuver here, jump up here? But I probably would like this knight here to help guard. Alright, I think I'll just play here for defense. Okay, so now he goes there. Interesting. If I capture, he's threatening to capture here. Alright, so I should probably take care of this. He's trying to get an attack going on me. So if I capture here, his queen comes down. He's threatening this bishop sacrifice. If I take, his queen comes in. Well, let us see here. Alright, I better trade off. The queen comes in. And now, what should we do here? What should we do? Interesting, interesting. Okay, does this pose a problem if he sacrifices his bishop? I take, his queen comes in there, and he threatens to swing his rook over. Okay. Well, could try and leave an escape route, but I can't, so because they are piling up on this. All right, all right. Well, Okay, so I have to be very careful here because if he sacrifices his bishop and my king will be left open in this position, then he can swing this bishop over and cause me issues. All right, what to do? What to do here? All right. Let's push our pawn forward. Not sure if that was the best move, but that is what we are doing. Huh, interesting, interesting. He sacrifices his rook. That is not what I was expecting. So we will take that. Oh, great. All right. All right. Well, might as well attack there. I think I messed up, guys. I got pulled into the pressure of that kingside attack he had on me. Now, if he takes my queen and I recapture, he can just pick off this pawn over here. And so that is what happens. All right. Yeah, sorry I haven't been saying anything. I was trying to concentrate here. And let's see what we can do. What can we do? I guess we could attack that pawn. All right, so my problem is this pawn majority here could try and push down and get a queen out of it. So he attacks there. I will move there to defend that pawn. All right, so, and I'm in time trouble too. So I let myself get in trouble in those tactics. This game is looking a little rough. Okay. And yeah, he pushes forward. All right. So now I should try and exchange. So when you're behind in material, it's better to exchange off pawns, because if there's no extra pawns, then they can't queen those pawns. Okay. So now and I have to be aware of any surprise attacks here. All right. He's trying to swing over here and cause problems. That could be dangerous. So he's swinging over to my king side. That's going to cause me issues. All right, what to do? Do I attack his... I got to be careful here because I got unprotected pieces all over. All right, there, we will do that. Okay, so he attacks me. I can go here, preventing issues. Okay. Now where do I go? Where do I go now? Oh no. I think I messed up pretty good, guys. He definitely has an attack going on me. Definitely has an attack building. Okay, so he retreats. And now he's threatening to check me there. Okay. All right, what to do here? What to do? Just retreat? Ugh, I'm like fighting for a draw here. And I'm in trouble. And my time is really low as well, so that's going to play a factor for sure. All right, so he's pushing forward. And that is not good at all. All right, what can we do here, guys? What can we do? I ran out of time. All right. I wasn't watching the clock. All right, a time loss. That really sucks. Okay, well, the lesson here, keep an eye on your clock and tactics. I let myself get trapped in that tactical attack on my king side. And I don't know, I was in a rough position there anyway. We'll do a quick game review. All right, let's see here. So the game was pretty even, but I had 78.2% accuracy to his 79.4. And let's see, sharp, a back and forth game where both players had chances. Yeah, let's see where I made a mistake here. Up, I don't know, in the middle of the game. All right, let's go through this pretty quick. All right, so I was ahead. I should have just traded that knight off with my bishop earlier in the game, I guess. Bishop to d3 is an inaccuracy. Best would be this knight move. Interesting. I allowed the opponent to fork pieces. Okay. All right, so that push was a mistake. Best was attacking the bishop, and then the bishop would have to retreat and then bring my queen up. I guess I was just really worried about a sacrifice here and then bringing these rooks up to line up on my king. So anyway, I didn't play that the greatest. Queen to f3 is a mistake. Best would have been to attack his bishop. So that was best, followed by an attack there, and not capturing. Interesting. But, Alright, anyway, I had my chances, and I kind of just let myself get in trouble with that attack on my king side. King to g3 is a great move. And I ran out of time. So this threatens to kick my bishop. Alright. Alright, well, that game didn't go so good. So we both did a 1400 average on that. Yeah, I know I made some mistakes, let myself get squeezed there. Alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed these games if you're still following along. If you have, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments and suggestions. Thank you guys, and have a great day.